Family goes, oh na na na, oh na na na.
Purchase your
Come kick it with the Casey's. All that love and all those babies. C-A-S-C-Y. Welcome to the life. Welcome. C-A-S-C-Y. DJ Envy and Gia, oh oh. It's time to kick it with the Casey's. You're tuned into the Casey crew.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome. Hello, beautiful people.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you guys so much for supporting, rocking with us, following us. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed to our channel. Also, thank you for leaving DMs, comments, sending emails, and of course, my car show, which is August 17th in New Jersey at the Meadowlands Expo Center. It's indoors and outdoors. I want to say thank you guys for supporting. We look forward to seeing you guys. If you don't know about the car show, this is the first time you're listening. It's a car show based on any type of car you could possibly imagine, from old school, American muscle, exotics. But because we have 6 kids, we wanted to create something that was family fun. So we did kind of like a carnival and car show, club, outdoor, indoor, all in one. What does that mean? That means that you could come look at cars and chill and look at the cars. Your kids could be in the kiddie section where there's rides, there's jumpies, there's gaming trucks, so your kids can play with my kids. There's music, so the music sets the tone and the vibe. There's food trucks with amazing food, so you can get different types of food, whether it's sometimes in some locations we have vegan options, sometimes it's Caribbean options, sometimes it's empanadas. It's just always good food and so many things to do. And of course, we like to give back, so it's around back to school, so we're giving backpacks away while supplies last, and also we're giving free haircuts to the kids. So it's just a family fun day. I love cars, and I wanted to create an environment where you can come and enjoy the cars and the space and the venue and everything that's going on together as a family. So if you want more information, you can click the link in our bio, or the link will be here. Or you can always email me, djnvcarshow@gmail.com, if you want to put your car, bike, or truck in, or if you want to be a vendor, if you're selling anything. My daughter sells bracelets every year. There's so many different vendors. Shout to Habibi Sunglasses. He comes each and every car show, no matter what car show it is. And he sells out every year. He loves it. So shout to Habibi. I actually helped him get a car a couple of months ago. So salute to him. So, or if you want a food truck and you want to get into it, you can just always email me, djnvcarshow@gmail.com. All right. Now, let's start the show. Before we do, I want you guys to know that we read all your comments and we go through everything. A couple of comments I wanted to address. One comment said, Envy, in one of the podcasts, you said something about your dog, that you don't have a dog. Yes. When I said I don't have a dog, that the noise we heard was earth, earth, earth. We don't have a little dog.
We don't have that kind of dog.
We have a woof, 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 woof. That's what I meant. So, yeah, we still have Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is still running around, making sure everything is all right, chasing bears, deers, and all types of animals out of the yard.
Chuck Norris actually has a friend, and now we have 2 dogs.
That's right. So, Chuck Norris, salute to Chuck Norris. Another thing, people say, with one of the podcasts, is that you guys should write a parenting book. And we actually just wrapped up our parenting book. It's called Real Life, Real Family. We'll give you more information and more details about that. And it's about raising our kids. Everything from our 22-year-old to our 2-year-old. Now, if you do hear, we are in the house, and of course, it's the time where people are working. So you will hear noises. You will hear the guys outside cleaning and blowing and all that. Can you tell SDOT not to go outside and stop them? Like, they're working. Like,
is that where he went?
Yeah, that's what stopped them. Yeah. Like, we have to get...
Our landscapers are right there.
Yeah, we have to get the backyard ready for summer. Like, they are working. Also, if you hear noise, Irma's here, our longtime nanny.
She just told us that she has to blend the sauce for dinner.
Yeah, so if you hear
a blender, couple rooms away.
Yeah, that's what you hear. It is what it is. We are in our house. This is not a podcast studio. When Gia says, come over, it's really come over to our crib. That's right. So, we have so many different ways we can go for this podcast, right? The one way I think I want to go is tricks with the dick.
What?
Or tricks on the dick.
Whoa. No.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
All right. Well,
that's this issue.
I'll explain.
I'm holding you responsible.
So a while ago, And what I do is, if you don't know how we come up with topics on the podcast, it's
There's
usually,
no we about it.
okay.
I don't have anything to do with the topics ever.
If you don't know how I come up with the
And
topics,
if I do, I'm proud of it, and I'll let you know.
all right. Well, if you don't know how I come up with these, sometimes these topics, what I usually do is it's just usually real life, right? It's usually something that's in our relationship that I didn't like or I like or thought would be a good topic because other people go through it. Or sometimes if you just listening to the podcast, you would know that I'm a stalker, right? And what that means is I'm constantly on the cameras. Why? Because I don't trust anybody. I want to make sure nobody's running in my crib, holding my family up for a ransom. I want to make sure that there's no crazy people. So I'm constantly on the cameras, right?
That's what it is. You want to make sure that no one's taking us for ransom.
Yeah, you just never know.
Got
Like,
it.
for instance, the other day, it was our daughter's birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to wish her a happy birthday, but I didn't want to wake up the house. So I watched the camera all morning long until I seen Gia get up, right, to go wish her a happy birthday. And when I seen Gia get up to go wish her a happy birthday, I called and I was part of that celebration.
Great timing.
No, I seen you guys on the camera.
Oh, Lundy was like, Daddy's on the cameras.
But the funny thing about it is that has rubbed off on Madison, where Madison be like, she be on the camera. She knows where I'm at 24/7. She know, hey, Dad, I see you on the camera. Like, it is what it is.
It doesn't just stop there. We also have the Life 360 app, and now even Madison's boyfriend.
Boy, Madison put a boyfriend on the app. I know where he's at.
So we know where he's at.
I can tell you where he's at right now. I'm gonna put Mercedes on the list. I'm gonna put Mercedes on the app too, so I know where she's at. I'm putting Mercedes on the app. Mercedes is going on the app, so I know where she's at too. But that's just who we are. Y'all call us crazy, creepy, whatever. We don't care. But one day, Gia had a girls' night out. It wasn't even a girls' night out. It was a impromptu. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Impromptu
Now
girls'
spell
night
it.
out.
You want to really impress me?
Prontu.
Impromptu? Impromptu. No. Impromptu.
Oh, MTU. T-O.
Let's just move along.
All right. I wasn't good at spelling. Hey, I was good at math. It is
That's
what it
not.
is.
Drop impromptu in the definition right here. Okay.
And the problem with that is
make a note.
there's this thing called a hot chat GPT.
A what?
Hot GPT. Like people say Target. That's hot. Anyway, I do chat GPT. That tells me everything. But anyway, during the conversation that I overheard, so a couple of Gia's friends came over. I don't even remember what it was for. It wasn't scheduled. They just came over to shoot the shit and come through. And they sat on the other couch over there and they just had a long conversation. They were pouring drinks and they were drinking wine. Gia was drinking Baileys, and Gia's about to get lit in a second because she's drinking Bailey and one cup of Baileys. She's going to be dancing and twerking in a second. But I overheard the conversation. And I walked by and I heard a little bit of it and then I was intrigued, right? So they were asking, how do you keep a relationship spicy, meaning the sex life? And they were asking for tricks on the dick, right? And I'm sitting there like, this is wild, but entertaining. So they were talking about...
This was Thanksgiving.
That, right. And I wrote it down then. And they were talking about...
Is it that conversation? We had a few of these conversations.
Yes.
It might be, or it could have been another... Okay, go ahead.
So let me ask you, Gia, for the women out there listening, some women have been in a relationship for a long time. What?
This is a conversation you want to have?
Yes.
That you want me to have?
Yes. I think...
Do you want me to give a tutorial?
No. Not a tutorial, but I want to ask, people always ask how to spice up the sex life. They say sex sometimes gets boring. They want to make sure that they keep their husband intrigued. Or men sometimes want to make sure that their women are always wanting more. So for women out there, and you had a little conversation with your girls over there, we don't have to get too graphic. No, we're not going to get graphic.
Get graphic.
We're not going to get graphic. But how would you suggest women to make sure that their sex life stays sexy? So,
as I say, give you an impromptu.
So what would you say to the ladies out there? And let's get serious. Let's
get serious.
Yes.
Okay, you want to get serious?
Yes.
Why don't you seriously tell the audience what your take on the answer to your question would be?
I'm too graphic.
You're the recipient.
I'm too graphic.
We can't have this conversation.
No, but all right, for instance, right?
I can't have the conversation I have with my girls on this podcast.
Why not?
Because it's, y'all think this is funny? My uncomfortability amuses you? that conversation was
I mean, that was graphic. I heard fingers in the butts. I heard graphic stuff. But I'm talking about like,
wow.
for instance, right? If a guy's out there listening, he says, "Hey, I've been with my wife for a long time, and I want to switch things up." Right? I want to make sure that my relationship is spicy. Like, what things can I do to make sure it's spicy? Right?
Mhm.
So the first thing I would say is, first you would have to find out what she enjoys, what she likes. Right? Some women like oral or head, more oral, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what women call it these days. Do they call it head?
I mean, we call it everything.
Okay. So if women likes that more, or, do they like sex more? And if they like sex
Maybe
more,
intercourse.
if they like intercourse more, I would say, okay, well, let's start from there. For myself, I would say watch porn, right? And not porn.
Wait, what?
I'm going to tell you.
Wait, what's your watch porn is your answer to what question?
Okay, for instance, right? If I want to keep things spicy in the bedroom, right?
Yeah.
And let's say we've done the back shots, we've done the missionary style, we've done the 69, we've done all that. And I would say, well, what spices up a lifestyle? Porn is the best thing to look at.
Absolutely not. What are you talking about? Who's my husband? Not you.
Right.
What are you talking about?
And when I mean
you don't
porn,
get tips and tricks from. I mean,
right? Why not?
Sort of.
But when I say porn, I don't mean
farce.
No, it's not.
I think our sex life is a lot better than porn.
I didn't say.
Do you not think that?
I didn't say our sex life was compared to porn.
You're talking about if you want tips and tricks that you watch porn. I would never watch porn for tips and tricks.
Okay, so where you get your tips and tricks from then?
From my imagination.
Oh, so talk to us.
Do you want me to have this conversation with the people?
You're not saying it's you. I'm saying
I am saying it's me.
A girl right now is looking right now and would say, I need some type of tips or tricks to make my sex life better, to make it change. What would you say?
I'm down for the conversation, but there's not a way to give a PG version.
They're all adults. They're all adults.
It's explicit.
So, like I said, the reason I said porn is because when I say porn, the fellas out there, I'm not saying porn to beat your meat. Like, don't watch porn to beat your meat. But
there's nothing wrong with watching porn to beat your meat. I have nothing against porn. I like porn. I just think that I wouldn't go to porn for my tips and tricks. Because when you watch porn, it's the same thing over and over and over again. Unless you have like a fetish, right?
That is not true.
Some guys like certain things. There's, a myriad of things that I could address. But you can put in the search bar what you like, and 1,000 of those videos will come up. So I think that porn is great when you're by yourself or when you're with your partner and you want a little turn up, like something that gives you visual and you hear noises and it can turn you on in addition to, it can kind of feed the situation between you and your partner in the bed, right? It's just an added thing. Like there's a lot of things that can be additives, right? Mm-hmm. So I would use porn as a tool. But I'm not going to go there to learn, like, gosh, I want to know how I should do this. Let me go and...
No, but there might be a move on the porn that they do that's like, I would say like Roman emperor style or some crazy shit that you want to try.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so answer the question.
What's a Roman emperor style?
I don't know. Pick her up and fucking have her face and you do... I don't know.
I feel as though you can get to all of those places with your own imagination.
Okay, so...
And I feel like our imaginations are better than what I feel as though the things that we engage in, I haven't even seen in porn. Right or wrong? No, I'm asking you. Right or wrong?
Yeah, I think we should get an OnlyFans if we're talking like that.
No, seriously.
Subscribe to our OnlyFans. You'll see stuff that you don't see in porn.
No, but I think that it's,
So, all right. So a woman out there listening to say, how do you spice the relationship? Go. What do you tell them? Go.
I think the first, okay.
Sounding whack. Come on, tell them.
I think the first thing that a woman or both people should do is to release all of your inhibitions. And you don't release all of your inhibitions. I still think that sometimes you treat me too much like a lady.
So what do you like?
Whoa. If this is real talk.
Estat was on the side saying, slut me out. All right.
No, it's not that. It's not that. But I feel as though sometimes I have to encourage you to go further or to not be so respectful.
Is that a problem?
I think there's a time and place for everything. I think that there's time for lovemaking. I think there's time for bleeping. I think there's time for something in between. I think there's time for experimentation. I think there's time for just unadulterated fun. I think there's time to explore stuff.
But you do understand a lot of guys feel like, I want to make love and have sex with my wife. I don't want to slut her out.
I think that your wife should be there for it all.
Yeah, but the problem with that is it's like,
Or else, I mean, and you'll listen, I'll put that battery in your back and you'll go there. But I can always feel and sense that inhibition that you have, like, and it's adorable. But I feel like I want to be like, go for it. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm not going anywhere.
yeah, but
You're not going to scare me off.
the thing is, I feel like, and I'm sure a lot of men feel like this, it's like, if you're my baby, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to bust in your ear.
I mean,
Like, I don't
think that there's anything really sexy about that.
But I'm just saying, but maybe not to you, but a guy might have a fetish. Like, I don't want to bust in your hair.
Well, put it this
like a guy
way.
might have a
If
fetish
you
with
were
that.
into it, I'd be like, go for it. If you were into it, I would say, go for it. Like, whatever you're into, I would say, go for it.
But I got to kiss that ear later, and I don't want to.
Well, we'll wipe it off first.
Nah, but it
You know
don't.
what I mean?
But you would have to understand. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but as me, who is who I am, I don't look at you like that, nor would I want to look at you
Oh,
like
well,
that.
that now I think we've hit something interesting.
Mhm.
Why not? Why don't you want to look at me
Because
that
you're my
way?
baby and you're somebody that I love. You're the mother of my kids. You're
That sounds so
my
unsexy.
baby girl.
And,
It is.
And when we're in, okay, when we're
I mean, it's sexy.
in that mode, you shouldn't be looking at me as the mother of your kids. When we're engaged in lovemaking, sure, all day. But when, it's not the lovemaking night, you shouldn't be looking at me like, oh, she's the mother of my kids.
but I don't.
She's everything I've ever wanted. Like, no,
That's the truth.
you should be looking at me as like,
But I can't. I can't ram
you
your.
really can't.
I can't ram your asshole till it bleeds and then pee in it. Like, I can't do that. Because
I didn't say any of that.
But
I don't know where
that's-
that just came from.
that's-
You just went 0 to 6,000.
But you said slut you out. Like, I would slut you out. Now, see, now,
that's
what?
like what?
But let's say I wanted to do that. Let's say I wanted to do that. Let's say I wanted to do that tonight. Would you have a problem with it?
I would have to see if there's any medical issues involved with that. My boundaries are medical issues. Anything else is a go.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just,
Yeah.
it's just the way that I feel. Is I look at you differently than like you are my wife, you are my baby, you are my muse. So because you are my muse, I look at you a certain way. It would never take it past, in my opinion, a form of disrespect.
I think that that's problem number one because I think now real talk, right?
Real talk.
I think that for a lot of people, many, many people, a whole lot of you, I'm sure that disrespect is part of the fantasy
I agree.
in some cases.
I agree.
That power trip,
Mhm.
that control, disrespect. It can all be molded into a sexual experience. And that can feed a certain mindset. And there's nothing wrong with that. People have fetishes.
They do.
And different things turn different people on. There's no judgment.
Okay, let me
There's
ask you
no
a question.
judgment. And if you're my husband and we're going to spend the rest of our lives together, like we should explore it all. Like, we should be all over the map.
I understand that. So S-Dot is here. S-Dot, just answer yes or no. S-Dot, have you ever seen a porn where the dude slaps the shit out of the girl he's fucking? Right? Slaps the shit out. Like, I can't slap the shit out of you. Even if I tried, I'd be like, ah!
Then I'd laugh and it'd be all
It'd
over.
be all over.
Like, grab the remote. Let's just watch something on Netflix.
It's just certain things I can't do. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't want you to slap me in the face.
but some people, if you look on any of the porn sites, that's big. Like, people like to slap and dehumanize their girl, dehumanize their wife,
just don't
dehumanize their
jeopardize
spouse.
my safety.
They slap the shit out of them.
Okay, I don't want to be
All right, you said
slapped in that way. But you
said-
could slap.
no. You said fantasy. I want to slap the shit out of you tonight, okay? And then pee on you. That's what I seen on the porn.
If I'm being honest, if that's what you wanted to do,
You know what?
That's what you wanted to do.
Forget. You better go to email.
What? Am I making you feel uncomfortable?
No,
What's the problem?
I'm not slapping the shit out of you.
I'm not telling you that you have to, but what I'm saying is
You have a question over there.
Okay, Vince has a question.
Exactly what you're saying here about how he sees you.
Yeah.
Why men can't see us as what they might fantasize on the outside.
So what
I
she's
think that's where a lot of cheating might
I
happen.
was
So-
waiting because
so
I
what-
was going there.
so what Ben
was
said is
going there.
that she sees
I
the
was going
problem
there.
with a lot of men is they see their wife or their girlfriend as the muse and this beautiful, pretty thing,
a
and she
princess.
feels like that's why men might cheat because with the side chick or
They
the
can
prostitute or
disrespect
the chick from
them.
the club.
They can do whatever they want. There isn't that inhibition because that inherent respect is not there. So they can have their way with them. As Estat said, they can slut them out and enjoy better sex with a side chick than you can with your wife.
and I'm going to go to the
Because
extreme.
your fantasies are being met. But I think that husbands, you asked me a question. I think that husbands need to treat their wives like whores every now and then.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Ben's is saying yes, and she gets up.
Ben's like, yes!
All right, now
Treat me like a whore.
there's this thing. There's this thing online, right?
Oh boy.
That people fly to Dubai. Why do a lot of women fly to Dubai for money?
For money, what do you mean? I don't know.
All right, so a lot of women go to Dubai because these rich princes
Oh, okay.
allegedly fly them to Dubai. Why?
I don't know.
Do you know, Estat? Why? No, because it's this thing.
He
in
just wants to
Dubai-
keep saying the word
I know, I
slut.
know.
He just so they can get slutted out.
There's-
Just
there's-
likes that word.
It's this thing
Uh,
of Dubai where a fantasy where men really want to belittle the women that they're at.
Oh, yeah.
And what do?
They pee on them and they shit on them.
They shit on them,
Yeah.
right? So now that is a fantasy that a lot of guys have. And you could check any porn site. It's very big. And a lot of women get paid to go to a lot of these foreign countries and these princes and these sheiks actually poop on them and they get paid for it. So that is a big fantasy. Now let's say that was a fantasy of mine, right?
Mhm.
And I said, hey babe, a fantasy of mine is to
Biggie said it best. To bend over and bleeps on the. what song was that?
what do you do when your man is untrue?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. If that was my fantasy, would you let me do it?
No.
Why not? You just said, I slept me out. I wanna do everything you wanna do.
Because there's a medical issue there.
There's no medical issue.
Yes, with feces, there's
It's in
bacteria.
Florida, you can clean right after.
Absolutely not.
No.
Listen, I can have a boundary. That's my boundary.
No, you said I can slut you out and do whatever I want to do. So
I
what
don't know if I
want-
put it
listen,
in
listen,
that-
No.
I don't
What
think I
wanna
said
do-
it that
hey,
way.
Listen. So what I want to do tonight is I want to slap you, pee on you, and shit on you. That's my fantasy.
Wow, you're taking this so far. Yeah. So no, you can't do that
Why not?
because it's unsanitary. I can get sick.
No,
That's
you can't.
that's bacteria.
You wear a mask.
Very sexy. Very, very sexy. You and me with like 2 medical masks
Wear a mask.
in the bed.
How about it?
I have toilet paper right on the night table.
How about
Baby
it?
wipes.
How about it?
Right there.
How about it?
Oh God. Oh, Esa said there's a word for it. Scat fetish.
Scat fetish.
Fetish.
The fact that he knows that scares me.
Scat
But
fetish.
the fact that he knows that
Trying to
scares
tell
me.
us something else that?
I know, right? But see, you see what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm
so
not
if a
saying
guy, but
that
listen,
people can't have boundaries. That would be my boundary. I'm not doing.
but you just said a second ago that you would do anything that I wanted.
That I said does not encroach on being a medical issue. That is nasty.
So you
That is nasty.
but
And
it's-
not like sexy nasty. That's just friggin' disgusting. Listen, and if you guys have that fetish, more power to you. No judgment. For me, absolutely not.
I'm just saying that it's difficult for a lot of people who look at their wife as their princess, their queen, their muse to want to do something that is nasty or out of line with their woman. So I'm asking, that's why a lot of people watch porn, I say, to get a lot of ideas that's not based off of it. That's what I said.
Maybe to get an idea if you're not a creative individual.
I don't even know how we got to this conversation. Where we were
You
going.
brought it up. What are you talking about? Tricks on the bleeps.
I think the tricks on it that we should save for another time. You and your
Why?
girls just talk about it because there's nowhere else to go.
Well, I'm asking you. Well, no. Why don't you pose the question to yourself?
I don't want to do tricks on the dick. What are you talking about?
No. What I think what you led with was what you guys think he's so funny. He's not that funny. That's not that funny.
What's wrong with you?
What do you think that women or men, I'm going to say or men, can do to spice up?
I started telling you,
Your
told me,
sex
no,
life.
no, no, no.
You
no.
said watch porn.
I would-
Okay.
but let me
What
tell you the
else?
reason why. I would say watch porn because there's so many different elements of porn, right? They have like massage porn, which teaches you how to massage your woman in an erotic way.
Hmm.
If you don't know, I don't know how to massage. I'm the one-handed bandit. I just one hand, and then I usually fall asleep, right or wrong.
Absolutely. You're the worst.
Right. So I say porn is always getting options of things to do that maybe you don't think that your woman will like and that you can find out that she like. Maybe sex on the side, maybe
Sex on the side.
like sideways.
What did we in 4th grade? What are you talking about? This is what you're offering the people? Sex on the side? Cuddle sex. Have you guys ever tried cuddle sex?
I'm saying there's certain things that women
Come on,
might.
you're better than this.
I'm saying there's certain
You're
things
better than this.
that women might try. Like they might, woman might want to give somebody a foot massage, like a foot, whatever they call it, foot jerk, what's that called?
It might be called a foot jerk.
You know what? I'm uncomfortable now.
Okay.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm
Okay.
going to human resources. I don't like this.
I know you seem uncomfortable. This is how he seems when we're in bed, and I try to get him to,
I want to get to the email of the week.
to ramp it up a little bit. That's why earlier I was like, oh, you're so cute, because he gives like this cute, like, I love you so much type of feel where I'm like, like do something and have your way with me. Like.
Can we go to email of the week?
No, we can't. We're not done. This is fun. I'm actually having a good time. Okay. All right. So, what's the sexiest thing to you? Like, what turns you on the most?
Your titties.
Okay. I wasn't really referring to anatomy, but as far as like an act, like, or a fetish, or what is your biggest turn on?
It's turning you on.
This is true. Okay. Well, explain.
No, I like what turns me on is pleasing my wife. So you reaching orgasms once, twice, 3 times, 4 times a night, that makes me reach a bigger orgasm.
So that's the biggest thing for you.
For myself, yes.
Okay. And what's your favorite act? What's your favorite thing to do?
To you or me?
Just period. Or both. Okay, both.
I like fellatio.
Okay.
I like head.
Mm-hmm.
I like head. That's just what I enjoy.
Okay. But anybody can do that, right? So if you want to have, for the topic of a podcast, you have to give insight. You have to make it worth
I mean, I don't want to get that graphic, but
not that graphic. But
you like.
But
you know what
find a way to explain without being too graphic, so that we're providing value.
I like. Okay. Well, first
Right?
of all, when it comes to oral, you know what I like, regardless. So you know how to play, how to not play, how to take it to the next level. You know all that. But I also like sensual. I like being sensual. I like touching. I like kissing. I like foreplay. I like relaxing, and I like to go to sleep after.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Well, that's a simple description.
I'm a simple guy.
I don't think it's simple.
Oh, well, what? Well, let's tell me. What do you like?
Okay. So here's one like small tip, I guess. One of the things that I think of constantly while we're being intimate is that excuse me, that no
That's from last night.
is that no body part goes to waste. Okay? So you have 2 hands, you have 2 feet, you have a mouth, you have a nose, you have eyes. And at all times, I think it's important to use everything. Because in my mind, if I'm not, I'm being lazy. So they all, in some way, shape, or form, have to be being put to use,
Mhm.
right? And like you said, everything in a very, very sensual, sexual way.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times when I hear my girlfriends talk about it, excuse me, it seems very robotic, very simplistic, where a lot of thought isn't being put into it. For me, it's almost theatrical. It's almost like a demonstration. It's almost like a show.
Mhm.
Like every time, to me, it's like showing and proving. Do you know what I mean? And I'm very conscious of your entire body,
Mhm.
you know? And I'm always thinking about different ways to do everything.
Mhm.
Um, but not oftentimes just switching it up. There's always like a gradual approach
Mhm.
to a change, because if you approach a change gradually, you can sense whether it's being enjoyed or not, especially if you're testing limits or if you're testing boundaries or, whatever it is. You have to be very observant, because you don't want your man or your girl to be like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? Or that doesn't feel good. I'm a woman. I don't have a male anatomy. So I don't know. What I have to do is take steps and try things and kind of do it in a way where I'm tempering his response. And then when I hit gold, I'm like, okay, I've hit gold. So now I'll take it a step further. And I'm always building, and it's always kind of changing. I personally, as far as reaching orgasm, I'm a simple girl, and I've said it before.
Mhm.
I'll say it 1,000 more times. It's very, very easy for me to get there with you, just because I'm so attracted to him. Like, he's so sexy to me. So for me, it doesn't even matter what's happening. Like, I don't need a lot, but a lot is good as it feeds the experience. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I like to be in it with you. Even though I can get there fast, a lot of times I'll stop myself, because I want to enjoy all of the moments. I want to enjoy pleasing him. I want to just be completely submersed in all of that. So I like to draw it out. And a lot of times he is tired. So I'll tell you one of my things, and I don't know if we've really talked about it, so we'll talk about it here. Um, Sometimes I'm subconsciously so aware of like your time, because a lot of times by the time we get into the bed, it's 11 o'clock and he has to be up at 4 o'clock
Mhm.
for the breakfast club. If I had my way, we'd be busy for 2 hours. Oh, maybe not 2 hours, maybe like an hour and a half. But I'm so conscious of your time.
Mhm.
And a lot of times I just like, I just want to take care of you tonight. Slap you on the ass until you go to sleep. You know what I mean? And that makes me feel good. What do you think about that?
I mean, I enjoy that, but for myself, I like, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I like the vibe. So I like the candle lit, this room smelling good.
Mm-hmm.
I like the room clean. I like a good view. I just like the feeling of it. So
Yeah.
everything feels good. Um, every once in a while, I'll take me a edible, and it puts me. It's like what an edible does sometimes is when you touch me, it feels even better. So if this is a 7, an edible makes it feel like a 10. Everything is more sensitive. But I also just like the vision and view. So it's like I like to experience what's the word I'm looking for? I was gonna say euphoria, but I don't even know what the fuck euphoria means. But I like
I think it is what you're
Oh.
talking about.
but like so for instance, when we're in Vegas, I like the blinds open so I can see the city.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, when we're in Manhattan, I like the blinds open so I can see the lights of the city. Or when we're in our house, when we're upstairs, it's like you just see the view of the backyard. It's beautiful. You see the pool. It's just a vibe. Everything just feels comfortable. And the weight of the world is gone. It's just a relaxing feeling. And I love that 1,000 times. What, you have a question, that's that? Well, he says, do you like the windows open because you're a voyeur? Sorry, sir, there's no neighbors around
No,
here.
no,
But
no. That would mean that he wouldn't be a voyeur. That means he would be an exhibitionist. He'd be an exhibitionist is being watched. A voyeur is he who watches.
Right.
Right. But I'm not gonna lie, I like that.
what part?
If we're in Vegas, for instance, and the windows are open, if you want to see, don't look.
Nah,
I don't know. That does turn me on. The
I'm-
whole
I'm with you.
exhibitionism type thing. And nobody's looking really, but it's just the idea that someone could, or that the scene is open.
Mhm.
You know, there's something sexy to that.
Yeah, so I like the scene and the vibe. Like that's what really turns me on, even times 10. So it's not like we going into a pissy hallway and we're doing it like it's not the
Why?
same.
Like, what?
I'm just going from extremes.
Why, Rashawn?
I'm going from extremes one to the other. So for myself, I like the set. Like that's why when you come in the room, the candle is lit, the bed is made, and it's just like whatever. You know what I mean? I enjoy that because it's not just a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's just an enjoying. It puts me to sleep. It puts me in a great mood, especially with all the stresses of the world. So that's what I enjoy.
What's your fantasy?
My fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Do you feel as though, as I say, you're lying?
I don't know.
You don't have a fantasy?
No.
That we haven't already acted out?
No.
What if the maid come in and kick off the door and see you guys in there and it's like, I want a piece of that too. That's not
He said, what if the maid comes in and kicks down the door and be like, I want a piece of that too. No.
like she's Superman, like busting out of the phone booth.
No.
Yeah, no. So there's no fantasies that you haven't already conquered?
No.
Nothing? Okay.
What about you?
I'm not sharing mine on the podcast. I have to have some kind of limits, right?
So how do we close this out?
I think that people have to give themselves grace. And I think that you have to trust your partner. And if this conversation has tickled you at all, then maybe you should have a conversation. I'm going to take a page out of Rashawn's book. Maybe you should have a conversation with your partner that can be lighthearted or serious, whatever, and see if any of these looming things are in your atmosphere. You know, see if, your husband has quote unquote too much respect for you in the bedroom, because mine does, right? Let him know if, there's a kinkier side to you, and be open if there's a kinkier side to him. Have a conversation about your openness and your ability to explore and have fun. I think we're going to have a more in-depth conversation after this podcast is over.
That's right.
Because I think we have a little bit more talking to do. But I do think that it's all about communication and trusting the person that you're with, the things that are kind of festering and bubbling below the surface.
That's right. Well, I will say this later on.
You don't have any tips for men?
I'm about to. I'm going to say, well, later on tonight, if she wants to treat her like a slut, I'm going to eat a lot of ice cream, and I'm going to see if she allows me to.
Rashawn,
You said,
like, why
treat
can't...
me like a slut. All right, we going to see tonight.
That's the only thing that you can do, huh? That's the only thing that you come
we
up
gonna
with?
see tonight. I'm going to slap, pee, and...
I am so disinterested in you right now.
All right, well, let's
go to an email.
All right. Hey, y'all. I love y'all so much. So, I need help. Do not say my name, please. And my husband watches together. Oh, that's well, okay, here we go. Okay, so we've been together for 23 years and married 15. My husband is my life partner, and we are at the point of our marriage where we are mature and past the drama and BS. We are just loving and enjoying life these days. We have 2 kids, and our baby is about to graduate and go to college, so we will be an empty nester soon. The problem is my husband loves giving me oral, and I love receiving it. But I feel he does it for himself more than for me. It's like he forgets it's attached to me when he does it, and he stays there way too long. When I try to pull him up or stop him, he doesn't stop. And on top of that, entire time, he stays on a clit only. If I try to push his head down further or shift, he grabs me in a lock position to where I can't move until he is done. And this has taken damn near an hour before. If I had it my way, I would want him to explore my entire vagina, use some fingers, multitask, and soon as I come, take me to Pound Town while I'm in the moment of orgasm. Now, y'all are probably thinking, why not just tell him? He's kind of like Envy.
Did you plan this?
No.
You guys be planning these emails.
And to the lady that sent this,
Wait, what?
Because she said it's kind of like Envy, sensitive Sally. Why I gotta be sensitive, Sally?
Okay, go ahead.
That's not funny. No, I'm just joking. He feels he feels like Envy. He feels about his head game how Envy feels about his breakfast, like he is the best. Okay.
Okay.
Plus, my husband is a
Oh.
Cancer, so he's sensitive, and I don't want to hurt his feelings because he has been doing the same thing for 23 years. Help. So your husband's head game is whack.
I don't know if she's saying that he's whack.
He's
See,
whack at times. Well, let me start,
Okay,
and then you
yes.
could close it out.
Yes.
So your husband's head game is whack or not up to par of what you like, right? One thing you have to do, which Gia does, and I think most women do, is you guide his head. Gia will guide my head. If she wants me to go down a little, she pushes my head down a little. If she wants me to go to the left, she pushes it to the left. To the right, she pushes it to the right. She will guide. And
Or I'll tell you.
right. But I also have to listen, right? Because I want to please her. And I understand it's not just pleasing me. It's what makes her feel a way or what makes her feel better. So now it's a matter of having that conversation with him without hurting his feelings. And that is pretty easy, right? All you have to say is, babe, I love the way that, you go down on me, but I want to try some different things. I was talking to my friends and they said that their men do it this way. So let's do this. So I want to try some different things if you don't mind. I tell my girls all of the things that you do to me, and they try it with their man. So I say, oh, I want to try what they do. So I want to guide you. One night, let me guide you. And that way you guide him, and he knows that he's being guided, and hopefully he will let you do it. I think that would work. Give it a try. But don't hurt his feelings and say, hey, what you're doing don't make me work and it takes me an hour to come. I wouldn't say that part. I would just try to say, well, let me guide you and you guide me. So it's almost like, let's play a different game in bed tonight. You guide me to what you like, what feeling you like, what way you want me, what position, and I'll be your muse. And the same thing with you. What do you think?
I'd like that, and the same thing with you. Because then it seems like a game that both of you are playing.
Right.
So he gets to have his turn, and then he'll probably be really excited because you get to have your you get to have your turn.
And he gets to have his
and then
turn.
he gets to have his turn.
Correct.
So yeah, I think, would that excite you? Thinking that,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
could just be a director
Absolutely.
without being judged.
Absolutely.
Like, do this, do that. And it's kind of, I think, and you can make it kind of sexy,
Right.
where it's
Mhm.
like, I want you to order me around.
Right.
I want you to order me. I want you to tell me, and whatever you ask for, I will do.
Absolutely.
And like, make it interesting. Like, there's no rules, there's no boundaries, unless feces is involved. But like, I want you to tell me speed,
Mhm.
tempo, style,
Mhm.
technique. Like you said, multitasking. What do you want? What do you want me to do with my hands? What do you want me to do with my feet? What do you want me to do with my body?
Mhm.
And then even make a whole conversation out of it. Like, if you could change anything, and I mean, we've had these conversations. If you could change anything about our sex life, what would you change?
Mhm.
How do you think that we can improve upon our sex life? Is there anything that you've ever been too scared to ask me for, too scared to tell me? What's your biggest fetish? What's your biggest fantasy? I've asked him, when I'm doing whatever
Mhm.
to you, what are you thinking? Like, I want to know, like, take me through what your mental process is. What are you thinking? Because I'm curious. I'm genuinely a curious person. Like, I want to know you inside and out, So make it a game, turn it into a conversation, and then challenge him to engage in this act with you where you both get to be the directors, and give it a name. Call it like the director's cut,
Right.
something like that. I like that.
Yeah, I would say try that.
like your
And I
idea.
think that'll work. And just be open with him. But do it in a sensitive way where you don't hurt his feelings, right? And people are like, oh no, just tell him no. Do it in a way where it doesn't hurt his feelings, like you wouldn't want it to hurt your feelings. And I think that you guys will be best at that.
See, the problem is that a lot of men don't realize how sensitive we are.
Mhm.
You can't sit there and gnaw at the thing for an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't be too aggressive. You can't suck too hard. A lot of times we just like a nice, soft, and gentle touch. And then when it's time to be a little bit more aggressive, yes, go there in doses. Be creative. Switch it up. Switch up your styles. Switch up your technique. Go from here to there. Stop. Make me want it. Go do something else. Venture to a different part of my body. Then come back, because when you're somewhere else, it makes me want it even more. Another tip, leading back to, what you introduced before and kind of tying it into this, you know what I think is very sexy? Yearning.
Mhm.
Like having a desire for somebody or to be with them and having to wait. Having to wait, like being given something to look forward to.
Mhm.
So I might send Rashawn a sexy text while he's at work, or he might do the same.
Mhm.
And already, for me, that's kind of like foreplay. That's foreplay at 9:30 a.m. where I'm like, oh, I can't wait till he gets home. I can't wait till he gets home and all the things that I'm going to do, because it's like brewing. Um, if you are into it and if it is your husband and you want to send a sexy picture, and I'm not saying it has to be completely explicit, it could just be a picture of you in a pose. It could be anything. Use your imagination. And if it's, something that you might be interested in, to give your partner something, a visual to say, like, damn, I can't wait to get home.
Mhm.
Foreplay can start so much earlier on in the day.
Absolutely.
And for me, that is a huge turn on, like
Mhm.
being made to wait. Um, even in the act, like you're about to be there, and then it gets remixed. It stops, and
Mhm.
then you move on to something else. It's like, oh, I might be disappointed in the moment, but when you come back to it, it's going to happen twofold.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, so that's what works. And good luck, and keep us abreast of your conversation and let us know how it worked out. You can email us or DM. And if you guys have an email, you can always email us at thekcrew@gmail.com. That's TheeKCCrew@gmail.com. All right. It's time to get up out of here.
that make you feel a little uncomfortable?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Let's see
Okay.
if you're going to be fine later on.
I mean, hurt me. I challenge you.
All right.
Let's have a little director's cut.
Benz, give me some ice cream, please. I got to remind you guys.
Don't send me to the infirmary. But
Ice cream double that. Don't forget the car show,
Oh, boy.
August 17th. We would love to see you guys. My family meeting your family. We got to remind you guys that, think about it. What can you do for less than $50 in this world now? And we are offering that at our car show. We want you to have a good time. We want you to get your money's worth. We want you to enjoy the rides, jumpies, face painting, Monster. Shout out to Monster Energy. They do the tricks with the bicycles,
Like
which is
the
pretty dope.
ramps.
Like the ramps and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
which is pretty dope. Shout out to Lincoln Tech. There's so many different things that Lincoln Tech does that you can love. And also, of course, cars, food trucks, and so many other things. So I can't wait to see you guys. Get your tickets. And if you want to put your car, bike, or truck in the show, or you want to be a vendor, or you have a food truck, you can always email me or Benz at djmvcarshow@gmail.com. All right? We'll see you guys next week. I'm DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And that was another edition of the KC Crew.
Toodles.